Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently 3 a.m. I'm recording this just after we wrapped up Timcast IRL for an amazing election night. For those of you that slept through it, Donald Trump has won his re-election campaign. He is now alongside Grover Cleveland for the only two presidential presidents with two non-consecutive terms. Now, as of right now, we are still awaiting a lot of the data. Many news outlets are not calling the race for Trump, though Fox News, I believe, Decision Desk, The Hill, many others have already called it. And the Keystone State, Pennsylvania, now according to basically every outlet, has gone to Donald Trump, meaning it is only a matter of time before these outlets that don't want to accept that they lost finally decide to announce that Donald Trump has won. Reuters reports Trump claims powerful mandate after Fox News projects he has won the U.S. presidency. My friends, I want to say thank you to everybody who went out and voted. I want to give a big thanks to those of you who felt hopeless but still went out and voted. In blue states, where you thought it did not matter. In red states, where you thought it did not matter. And especially, of course, in the swing state battlegrounds, where you delivered this victory. For those of you who voted in blue states and red states, you delivered a popular vote and a powerful mandate for Donald Trump. Now, as of right now, we are looking at strong potentials in the Senate and the House. It is expected right now that the Republicans will have the House, the Senate, and the presidency, which is tremendous. I don't expect a whole lot, but I expect more than I ever did, and I'm hoping we get something good. Now, by the time you guys watch this, it'll be 7 hours later. So we may have further updates on what happens with the Senate. Potentially, as of right now, where I am at 3 a.m, there is a slim chance that Republicans could take 56 seats in the Senate. Right now, it's at about 51. And we're still waiting, but it's looking really good so far for at least 52. And then, of course, as you get closer to 56, it gets slimmer and slimmer, but I'm feeling pretty good. Because of all of you, this has come through. Reuters reports Republican Donald Trump claimed victory in the 2024 presidential contest after Fox News projected that he had defeated Democrat Kamala Harris, which would cap a stunning political comeback 4 years after he left the White House. Quote, "America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate," he said early Wednesday morning to a roaring crowd. He spent several minutes praising Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, who pumped some $120 million into backing his campaign. Now, of course, Elon, it is an honor and a privilege. It is to have met so many of the Trump family, to have been able to interview Donald Trump. It is an honor to use X, and I will give my praise to Elon Musk for the work that he did. It is an honor and a privilege to have hosted Scott Pressler on as many episodes of Timcast IRL that we did. Scott truly did the most grueling work to deliver this victory for Trump in key swing states. He has been working tirelessly, and everybody agrees this man has done tremendous. But they're not the only ones. There are many people who came through, and right now they are saying, "Hey, maybe Trump didn't win, but it's a foregone conclusion." Let me show you. U.S. election live updates and analysis. Reuters says U.S. politicians and world leaders congratulate Trump on X. PM Netanyahu congratulates Donald Trump. Trump, of course, had just finished speaking. Viktor Orban congratulating Trump. Fox News is not the only one projecting this victory. Decision Desk has also projected this. Right now, Decision Desk, as of 3:09 a.m., has Donald Trump with 280 electoral votes. Now, my friends, Decision Desk had been bad all night. They had at one point showed Trump with 88 million votes because they claimed Florida had 100 million residents. That is not correct. We corrected the record. Now, as of right now, Trump is up 5 million in the popular votes. This means a direct rebuke of woke garbage. We are now seeing from Bud Light to Target to Disney, and finally, the biggest get woke, go broke we have seen. The 2024 election, a mandate, and what's looking right now, as I can report, The Republicans have taken the presidency with Donald Trump. They have secured the Senate with 51 seats and the House, as of right now, 200 Republicans with a 65% chance, 2-1, that the Republicans will also control the House. This one's not guaranteed. By the time you watch this, there may be new data, but I got to tell you, there ain't no way I'm doing a 9-hour live stream, then going to bed at 4 a.m., getting up for a morning show at 10 a.m. But what I can do is record my 10 a.m. segment for you guys now. For those that missed Timcast IRL or went to bed early, we have the breaking news. But let's talk about the cope and the seethe. Already, my friends, we are seeing the beautiful cope and seethe from those who thought they had it all. I'm going to give a shout out real quick to Michael Malice, our good friend. He says, remind these libs tomorrow, the people you hate the most are going to be in charge of the things that are most important to you. I'd like to give you the account of right-wing cope saying, this is unironically worse than 9/11. Please, no. And I said, ha ha ha, right-wing cope is coping. Now, of course, there's still much, much more. As of right now, the New York Times, with their projection, still don't want to give it up to Donald Trump. And I'll tell you why that's ridiculous. They have already called Pennsylvania for Trump. He won it by 3 points. I told you, Lisa Reynolds told you, Trump flags in downtown Philly. But take a look at this. They're saying Trump's got 267 electoral college votes. Now hold on there a gosh darn minute. Why haven't they called the race? Alaska is not going for anyone but Donald Trump. He is up 16 points with 64% reporting, and they even say at the New York Times, very likely Republican. Call it. Alaska is Donald Trump. That's 270. Trump won New York Times. I can refresh it. They still don't want to say it. Senate forecast, they at least give to the Republicans, and as of right now, they're giving 191 to the Republicans in the House. Over at CNN, it says 266 for Trump. Cope and seethe. I'm going to refresh that, and what do we get? Still 266. Why? They don't want to give the one electoral vote from Maine and Alaska, despite the data being in. It ain't going to change. Cope and seethe. Now, over at Fox News, they were one of the, I believe they were the first, along with Decision Desk, to call it out right. And this is their own internal reporting. What we have here is Pennsylvania, 50.87 for Trump, 48 for Harris. It's done. Nevada's not in, Arizona's not in, Michigan's not in, but they called Wisconsin for Donald Trump. Now, they're giving Trump 277 because they have yet to call Alaska. But you go back to Decision Desk, ladies and gentlemen, and it is clear. Trump, as of right now, a fair estimate is 280 electoral votes. Michigan, as of right now at 3 in the morning, 3:13, 85% reporting. Trump is up 4 points in Michigan. Now, Nevada, Trump is currently up by about 5 points with 78% reporting. Amazing. 57% reporting in Arizona, and Trump is up just about 1.5 points. Now, unfortunately, it's not looking good for Carrie Lake. Currently, she is down about 5. She's down 5.3. In Nevada, Sam Brown is up by 0.8. It's a very close race. 78% is in. There is a chance Sam Brown will flip Nevada and take the Senate seat. But let's take a look here. Already we saw Charlie Kirk call Montana for the Republicans. That's a flip. That means 52. With Tim Sheehy beating John Tester. Now, so far, 48% is reporting, and Sheehy is up just about a little bit more than 4 points, 4.3. In Wisconsin, we are looking at 94% reporting, and Eric Hovde is up by just about 3.3 points, indicating a flip. 53 Republican Senate seats. In Michigan, Mike Rogers is currently up 5.7 with 88% reporting, 54. Pennsylvania, with 90% in, it is close. 1.2 for David McCormick. We are looking at potentially 55 seats in the Senate. I'm going to say it again, my friends, 55. And if we want to give Sam Brown, that one's close, that is 56 Republican seats in the Senate. You want to talk about a mandate. Now, that's a mandate. Now, right now, the House matters. We don't know exactly where we are going to end up. As I'm recording this, I hope you all wake up to see the data come in clear. With a 2-to-1 chance Republicans take the House, they only need 18 more seats, and it is looking pretty good. When I jump over to the New York Times, here's what we do. We scroll down, and here's what we see. In the competitive races, it's a little back and forth. In the narrow Republican races, Democrats have the edge in only Montana's first. In the Democrat narrow districts, you've got a Republican edge, 1-2, two Republican seats with the edge. What's going to matter is this contested battleground competitive districts. My friends, we did it. You and I, everybody else. I watched Donald Trump give that speech, and I want to say to each and every one of you, it is my eternal honor and privilege that you have all supported the work that I do, for the things that I believe in, for the worldview that I share, that you share along with me, that you stood up and made your voices heard. It makes me feel like we have hope for the first time in a long time. To see that stage with Donald Trump, the Trump family, and many of these other individuals that I can say I have hosted, have met, it is my eternal honor and privilege to be a part, as small as I am, of everything that we have seen, just to know these people and to be here at the show. And a shout out to the Daily Wire. We are going to be live, Timcast IRL. It is going to be epic. So much good is yet to come. Now, what I can say for all of you watching right now, as you wake up in the morning to the big news, look, there's several things we have to do now. Donald Trump needs to commute and pardon the J6ers. And I want to make sure I'm clear on this one. The people on J6 who were violent, who smashed windows, who destroyed things and fought cops, they should be charged. But 20 years? No. These people have served their time, and those sentences should be commuted. Now, as for the misdemeanor charges for the people who walked into a building confused and weren't violent and didn't break glass, and this is many, full pardons. We need accountability in government. We need an end to these ridiculous political lawfare schemes. And we're still several months out. I imagine we will see court challenges, but it's looking pretty decisive for Donald Trump with this popular vote victory. Now, what can we do? My friends, I ask of you to do two things. We must reject wokeness, the arrogance of many of these liberal and leftist personalities who would lie, cheat, and steal, who would say, you're a threat to democracy. Well, here's my message to you. Democracy has spoken. The popular vote as of right now says Donald Trump. You, my friends, are on the wrong side of history. So now it is time for the Democrats to face their realignment, to reject the woke insanity, to reject the cult nonsense, and return to normalcy. You have the opportunity, or just lose. I don't care. Disaffected liberals, disaffected libertarians, moderates, staunch conservatives, we have found an opportunity and we will take it. If you want to be competitive politically, understand why you were wrong. So I say this, let them cope and seethe. There is a degree to which I expect and think we need a bit of repudiation and humiliation and shame for the people who pushed these insane ideas that ultimately led to the victory of Donald Trump. To claim this man was Hitler, Stalin, and Mussolini. Yeah, well, he overperformed with Latinos and black voters. So cry about it. Your lies didn't work. So there must be a degree, but I say we must do it like men, where we should be strong about it, direct, like a scolding parent to say you were wrong. If you want back in the fold, clean your room, bucko. But I'm going to sit back and enjoy all the coping and seething that I can. And I have one more message for everybody too. This was not just a victory politically, nor culturally. A large component shows the shift in the media landscape. The lies, the hoaxes, they failed. They say misinformation. They say Tim Pool, Steven Crowder, The Daily Wire. They say Sticks, Hex, and Hammer. lies, fake news, misinformation, and they were wrong. I am seeing these journalists saying, this just proves we have a misinformation problem in this country. Well, I got something for you. No. It shows that we broke through your lies. And of course, shout out to Joe Rogan. Tremendous respect. I owe this man so much. And he stood up the day before the election and endorsed Donald Trump. He said what needed to be said. He did it with a smile. Dana White gave him the shout out. We all know we needed this and we all waited for it. Guys, Joe's a comedian, but he has been such a thought leader for so many of us for the past 10 years. It is remarkable. From talking about the moon and Sasquatch to endorsing Donald Trump and helping secure a resurgence in this country. I will be eternally grateful for his support of my work, for his support of Donald Trump and what we all believe in, and for his help on certain medical issues. So there are a lot of people to shout out, and there's a lot to say. But it really comes down to you. I was worried that people weren't going to show up, but you did. I got a super chat at the end of Timcast IRL. A man said, Tim, I live in California. It does so little, but your message got me to go vote. I say to you, to each and every one of you, this is your victory. I'm a guy who complains on the internet. I stare at a camera and I talk about things that bother me. I get a lot of things wrong. I try to be as correct as I can and get the facts to the best of my abilities, but the world is a crazy place and everybody gets things wrong and the media is always lying, so we do our best. But I'm sitting right now in this room with this party going on. I don't even know what's happening behind me. I'm talking to a camera, but it's each and every one of you. I'm just a guy. And I talk to this camera, but it is each and every one of you that makes up the strength of this movement that said we reject the insanity. And I'll tell you what it means to me. Donald Trump's an imperfect guy, largely imperfect, but he had great foreign policy and we had a great economy. So it's kind of simple, isn't it? But by all means, to those who criticize the man, I say, yeah, I totally get it. I do. So why should you vote for him? Because I saw a library in Seattle that racially segregated. Because I saw a university in Michigan that racially segregated. Because I saw children get irreversible surgeries. I saw creeps put weird books in schools. And I said, the cultural issues affecting this country are the end of us. I saw an open border where they're displacing the American worker and giving away the birthright of Gen Z and Gen Alpha to non-citizens every single day. And it was the Democratic Party and the left that screamed in our faces that was the right side of history. And it is because of each and every one of you who went out, no matter where you were, and cast that vote. Trump has the popular mandate, the Senate, likely the House, the popular vote, the presidency, and we can now say, no, you are on the wrong side of history. For we are the vocal majority, and you are the fringe minority of ideas that have been rejected on this day. Now, my friends, I sit here, excited and proud of everything we accomplished, but I still feel in the back of my mind, for all we know, there's going to be legal challenges, and there's still much, much more to come. But I will say, based on the amount of news outlets who have called this one for Trump already, I don't see a reality where they could come out and say anything otherwise. The New York Times, as much as they don't want to admit it, as soon as Alaska rolls in, it is done and Trump won. Kamala Harris wouldn't concede. She refused to come out. Donald Trump came out and declared victory, as any reasonable person would. What are you going to do? I'll give a shout out to Aaron Rupar. You guys know him? He said, a lot of people are going to blame Russia and misinformation or whatever, but the reality is people want what Trump is selling. He then goes on to say misogyny, transphobia, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'll have you guys know, I would love to see a Tulsi Gabbard presidency. I'm a big fan. And there's questions and concern about how the world reacts to these things. And I have no problem with trans people. The issue is that our economy is not good. The rich are getting richer. The border is open. Workers are being displaced. We have expanding war in the Middle East, in Eastern Europe, and potentially in Southeast Asia. And Kamala Harris was never the right person for the job. Joe Biden was never the right person for the job. And so what do we get? We get Donald Trump. And you all get Donald Trump. So you know what? Deal with it. You can moderate your position. You can abandon the far left, and you can say enough is enough. Democrats, it's time to realign. I tried stepping up in 2019 in the primaries and saying, I want the Democratic Party back. And they said no. They raised their hand for open borders and free healthcare for non-citizens. And so I said, okay, Donald Trump it is. And Donald Trump it is today. We didn't win the past 4 years, but we won now. And this means moving forward, it's time for the work to begin. It has only just begun. This is the start of season 3 of the Donald Trump show. It's time for cleaning up government, accountability, fixing our election system, securing our borders, and much more to come. Smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know, become a member at timcast.com, follow me on X and Instagram. I'm going to now go to sleep, wake up, and try and get back here on time to keep the morning show going. Thank you all so much for everything. You guys are legends, and today will never be forgot.